because he always used to act when
I think like.
Arsenal fans, we haven't had nothing really of substance to gas up in the summer transfer market. Big up hand of Arsenal. Christos Tzolis, welcome to Arsenal Football Club. To be brutally honest and brutally fair, we did see reports saying Wednesday, Thursday, the Tzolis deal would be tied up. Listen, we ain't got nothing else in it. We ain't got nothing else in it. So right now, with Tzolis, we're screaming, it's a gem. He's replacing Trossard. Big up Trossard. He's the next Trossard. That's all the stuff we're doing. I'm giving him a chance. If I'm brutally honest with you, you know how fans are. We can be irrational. We can be emotional. As much as last season, in fact, in the transfer market served as a reminder, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Because I remember we were vexed. Like last summer, we were vexed. We were vexed. We were absolutely vexed. Noni was here, respectfully. Big up Noni. We're not doing that. But big up Noni. He was here. It looked shaky where Gyökeres was concerned. Eze was going Spurs. Obviously was doing other things. And look how it ended. But as much as that serves as a reminder, at the same time, while we hope, we pray, we wait, we be patient, in Berta, we trust our Arsenal, Kroenke, everybody, until the market's closed, the market ain't closed. Can't lie, man. Arsenal, man, I need to see some movements. I need to see some flavour. Big up Tzolis. I need to see things happening because respectfully, we won the Premier League. We was in the Champions League final. We are lit. As Arsenal fans and speaking to Arsenal fans only, we did this when we was not in our final form. If we spend some peas, adapt to the market while keeping ourselves sustaining model and not being idiots, we can make things happen. That being said, though, I can't lie, man. So far, it's looking in this window. As much as we got valuations and stuff, we're trying to play checkers. People are playing chess, man. Like, the market pay the peas in it. But yeah, big up Tzolis, man. Big up hand of Arsenal. Big up Tzolis. I do, as I was saying before I started rambling about other stuff, yeah, as I was saying, one thing that I think is I feel sorry with Tzolis about, yeah, and again, the season, while we're drawing towards August and pre-season and the transfer market is what's taking precedent at the moment. Unfortunately, with Tzolis, you could go on to be a madman. I hope you're cold for us and you do crazy things, but you're not a household name. You're not gassing the fan base if we got Rodgers, we got Bacola at this moment in time. And I think, unfortunately for Tzolis, some irrational fans will pour that onto him, but believe in you, give you a chance. Obviously, the last time you was in these shores, actually, you was at Norwich. You arrived in this country first time as a 19-year-old. I hope at 24 years of age, with a burning desire to want to improve and prove people wrong. Life is funny, if I'm completely honest with you, because I could be wrong, but I'm sure I saw on Twitter Tzolis actually made his debut for Norwich against Arsenal. Can't tell you the fixture and all of that stuff, but I did see that. But yeah, welcome to Christos Tzolis to Arsenal. Hopefully you're a madman. Pre-season is gearing up. We're going to gas up your thing. Allegedly, according to Charles Watts, big up hand of Arsenal, big up Charles Watts, Tzolis will be wearing number 17. We need to speak about William Saliba. The good news is there's no surgery. The bad news, quote unquote, is he's going to have to be out for a minute, innit, really. And again, big up William Saliba. A number of my footballers put themselves, and you lots as well, put themselves on the firing line to get this Premier League trophy over the line. Unfortunately, him and a number of players, in my opinion, I'm going to give it to you how I feel, it's a ticking time bomb. Respectfully, and I ain't no fortune teller and all those things, but if Saliba never got injured for France, he would have got rubbed out at some point early in the season. And it's not just him, there's numerous players, primarily the spine of our side. But the Athletic have said Saliba will not need back surgery on his back, so we're going to have to let it heal. And to be honest with you, as much as I want the Salibas and these players in the starting 11 and we're trying to fight for a title again and get over the line and do all these other things, listen, you're a footballer for a number of years, you're here until, God says you're not here anymore. So get the back sorted. With not having surgery, it's a time thing, isn't it? Well, it literally depends on Saliba healing. Now, in terms of what I mean by footballers saving themselves from themselves, as I just said there in passing comment, every footballer at Arsenal put their bodies on the line, right? Saliba did. He's one of those. Forget his ability and all of that, even though he can't. He's cold. He's probably better than your centre-back if you don't support Arsenal. But he put his body on the line, people. And at the end of the day, as much as you could blame Mikel and wanting to rest and medical departments and things, Saliba's not an idiot. Put yourself in his shoes. Your team's fighting for the title. You're arguably the best centre-back at the football club, give or take, between Magalhaes. You've been with the L's. You want to win a title. You know what you feel like when you're 100% fit. But throughout a 38 game calendar, 50 odd, 60 odd, if you're playing for your country and club, you know, there's very few games you're actually going to be at 100%. You know when you're at 100%. You also know when you're at 80. You also know when, and the most dangerous one is 99.9% fit. And I would actually say less, but for one, and not to go down a rabbit hole, I would say with Saliba, Liz, literally, as I said there, we're trying to get the Premier League trophy over the line. We've all seen the reports. Champions League final wasn't 100%, still putting a shift. Obviously, he wants to play at the World Cup, and I'm sure I saw report's not the right word. What would you call it? Interview where he said the 2022 World Cup it was different because I wasn't a main player like that. I could be wrong. I can't remember if he was there, but yeah, man, it said yeah, Saliba won't have back surgery. John Stones is a target, and I'm. You know what? You lot are here for an obvious reason because you want to hear my thoughts and appreciate you. Smash the like button. The illusion of John Stones, I'm on that. You understand, you know, Pep and Arteta, they're very similar. It makes sense. Stopgap until Saliba's back. You know, Stones' CV speaks for itself. Ball playing centre half, intelligent, has played a number of roles under Pep Guardiola. We know Mikel Arteta's tactic, will play him in a bunch of roles. Obviously, you're 30 odd, so you could argue, raw. How many opportunities am I going to be at a team that fights for trophies, quote unquote? Me personally, I think he goes abroad. But the illusion of John Stones, I'm all for it, people. In reality, and forgive me, John Stones, I can, as I said, I've given you your dues, but in the theme of injuries and Arsenal, you'd fit right in. And unfortunately, that's the worst kind of thing I could say because I don't think we'd see you too often. If Saliba is really out for 3 to 5 months, people, think about the football. That's 2 international breaks. That's, you know, Premier League, give or take August, it's 1 game a week, la-di-da-di-da, and all of that kind of stuff. Very quickly, it turns into 2. Very quickly, it turns into 3 games in 10 days. So he's missing a lot. John Stones gets injured all the time. You look at the amount of starts and minutes and games he's played, it don't look good. You will form a good partnership in defense with Saliba. Unfortunately, it'd be on the injury table, people. But away from that, Saliba will not have surgery on a back injury and will have an extended period on the sidelines, the club has confirmed. Now, we can skip straight to the official thing Arsenal have said, people. And again, I can't see that. We have to zoom in a bit. Medical report, William Saliba. William Saliba has returned to us from World Cup duty where he played an integral role in France reaching the semi-finals of the competition. Subsequent specialist reviews on William return to London this week have confirmed that he has suffered a back injury which will require a period of rehabilitation. William Saliba's rehabilitation will commence immediately with continued management of his injury, and he's expected to be out for an extended period. So they're telling us when he's back, he's back. Saliba, speedy recovery. We're going to miss you. Arsenal, we're going to have to get on with it. Transfer market, other players stepping up. We know what we need to do in it because if I'm completely honest, bit irrational, but it's just how I feel. World Cup, cool. It's all fun and games. Spain lads that play for Arsenal won that. We won the Premier League. I'm not really filled with the most optimism in relation to fighting for the title. People, I need to look at my squad and think we've got level raisers, we've got squad depth, we can cope with the injuries, etc. I'm not saying to do all that negative stuff or over positive stuff. That's how I feel on the 22nd of July, folks. So I did think it was interesting the timing that Saliba stuff came out. The Daily Mail has said Arsenal are effectively being told to put up or shut up in their pursuit of Newcastle United midfielder Bruno Guimaraes. How do you feel about that? All discussions so far have come from the Brazilian midfielder's agent. So that sentence tells you it's agent-led. And Newcastle are becoming increasingly agitated by what they view as a tactical process, with the player being distracted by the speculation over his future, which is being played out in the public. I hear you, Newcastle. You're entitled to feel like that. How many times have you seen that in football, though? Guimaraes has told Newcastle he wishes to talk to Arsenal and have the chance to win more titles, but the club's stance is he's not for sale. Apparently, Arsenal have been led to believe a deal for the 28-year-old could be achieved for around 75 million, but Newcastle would need more than that to be persuaded. Anything more than 85 million, and it's looking like a bit of a myth, people, if I'm brutally honest. But I'll be real with you lot. See the kind of FIFA and Football Manager signings now, just how I feel as an Arsenal fan, like Bruno Guimaraes, Rodgers, who's gone to Chelsea, these ones. Hope we do it. Can't really put my heart into that. Scouts do their job. And I actually tweeted, I know this can't happen, but part of me wishes Arsene Wenger would be here purely just for scouting. Not to be the manager, big up the father, but just for scouting. All them we tried, and I looked at this guy and that guy. We've actually got money now. That's what I want to do, because unfortunately, it's looking like you got to put the money down, or it's looking like a myth, people. So, yeah, apparently Arsenal are willing to go as far as 75 million there. And apparently the onus is on Andrea Berta to come to the table with a proper offer. So for all the talk, Arsenal haven't put an official offer with Newcastle. There's a lot of talk on the back burners. And there are other Premier League clubs circling around Guimaraes. I think Chelsea are going to get involved. Personally, that sound will be too familiar to Arsenal fans' mind games. It will stick in the claw to see Morgan Rogers declaring his delight at. Oh man, forget that. Listen, I don't care about the Morgan Rogers thing. We know what we should have done, what didn't happen, and all those things. Julian Alvarez allegedly is still a top target. Apparently, Liverpool have the upper hand where Bacola's concerned, and we're still competing for him. Ferran Torres, who seems like he might be leaving Barcelona, primarily linked with PSG. Obviously scored the World Cup final winning goal, so he's joining an illustrious part of history, is also being linked with us, as is Junior Krupi, as well as Alex Scott. Manu Kolde's name's been dropped there. There's no point talking to Leipzig about Yan Diomande. We could just ask Liverpool and PSG on how Leipzig probably feel about moving him on. We know about Saliba's injury. We know the Konzas of this world, the Lacoles of this world, the John Stones of this world have been linked with us. Apparently, we like the look of Wan-Bissaka, but not at 25 mil. So on one hand, I understand looking for value. But on the other hand, are we pre-in the pattern at this moment in time? Do we need to switch up the pattern? Apparently, we value Ezri Konza at 30 to 35 million, and Aston Villa value him at 60 million. So you can see the discrepancies in terms of valuation there, people. Elijah Upson has joined us on a free transfer. And to be fair, frustrations probably go all the way around at Arsenal, because if you just look at the news or, you know, have any sort of inkling, we're probably frustrated in not getting a lot of our targets at under 16s level, and we've seen a couple of boys leave, people. So yeah, it is what it is. We have also been linked with Crystal Palace striker Milo Bernard, people, and apparently we've spoken to Cardiff's Axel Donchevs. I can't say his name, so we're looking at players at that level I was alluding to. We did hear this week Reece Nelson is drawing interest from clubs abroad. Benfica and Valencia have been name dropped. Gabriel Jesus, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson all have a year left on their deals. I don't need to tell you what to do, people. Apparently, Charles Sago Jr., big him up, is wanted on a permanent basis by AIK in Sweden. And I have covered this in another video, so I won't do it again. But Fabio Vieira is still drawing interest from Hamburg. So, yeah, man, I need to see some signings, though.
Christos Tzolis is